Fuck. I'm here. Wow, that was weird. Something happened. I put it into airplane mode somehow by accident. Hello, I'm here, right here. Okay, well, that one didn't get carried off too smoothly. But anyway, welcome. It's the weekend. It's Saturday. I'm here. I hope you're wherever you are. I hope some of you come here. Chris was playing a video game earlier. Let's see. Yep, he's still playing. Warhammer Inquisitor. He's sitting up there in his chair, staring at the computer screen with his headphones. Look, we're going to watch him. Hang on. Let's check in with my co-host. All right, look at y'all. Oh, I guess I got to mash play. Hey, Chris. What's up, dude? What game are you playing? Is it Warhammer Inquisitor? Are you the Inquisitor? What are y'all doing in the desert? What are you inquiring about? It looks cool. Is Warhammer and Warcraft the same? What's the game that like a bunch of people play? It's remote. You play with people from all over the world, and they're constantly coming out with new editions each year. My roommate used to play. He was really into it, and I'd watch him play it on the TV. Is this that game? Or is Warhammer? I don't know. Well, if you make it to the show today, come and explain it to me, because I always get those confused. Ooh. You look like you're doing good. Because in this other game, there's like a bunch of other players that can come and join the battles. Wow. All right. I'm going to go back to the show. All right. Well, that is Chris for today. Oh, okay. Yes. Announcement. Actually, I should probably wait for some people to get here. Right now, it's not showing any viewers. Well, I'll just go ahead and announce anyway. Since it's Mental Health Month, we thought we had the idea to start watching some mental health movies. So today, after the stream, we're going to go watch Ordinary People with Mary Tyler Moore in the Discord. It's an excellent movie. It's from 1980. I think it still holds up to this day. It's one of the best mental health movies, or one of my favorites. And it's about a mother, a father, and a son. 3 ordinary people. Rich, white people, but ordinary nonetheless. And the son kind of has mental health struggles, so he's in therapy. So they show the therapist as well. So it's Mary Tyler Moore, who's the mom, and it's one of the best portrayals of a narcissist or narcissism I've seen in the movies. It's very subtle. It's not overt, but it's unmistakable. And it's a tour de force performance. And then Donald Sutherland is the husband, the dad, and he is one of the best representations of like positive masculinity or positive malehood. It's the dad, the father, that ultimately restores the situation. And so, like, if we're lacking masculine role models, or how do now, he's a middle class, white collar white guy. I think he's like a stockbroker or something. But so he's not like manly man. But if you need a role model of like for men to handle day-to-day issues or family issues or marital issues or parenting issues, he's an excellent one. He's the hero of the whole show. And to see the male as hero or the father as hero in that kind of way. And then T. Hutton is the son. This is where he got his start. I think this was his first role. And he got the Oscar for the movie, and in addition to Robert Redford, who directed it, and this was Robert Redford's first picture, and so it was a big deal when it came out. And Timothy Hutton is the kid, the son. He's like in high school, and he's kind of a quiet, shy, withdrawn kid, but even with that personality kind of being dominant, he displays an amazing range of emotion, expression, nuance around just mental illness and all the struggles he's dealing with. It's just a really fine performance. And then Judd Hirsch is the therapist. And another thing I like about the movie is the relationship between the son and the therapist, Timothy Hutton and Judd Hirsch. It shows what good therapy looks like. We actually get to see it. Like, that's one of the backbones of the movie, is the storyline with him and the therapist. And we get to see what therapy looks like, what a good therapist looks like, how they approach it. They kind of show the different stages of therapy. So it has value in that sense as well, for the mental health discussion. So we're going to do that today in Discord after the stream, which may be a lot sooner than I realized. Hey, oh yeah, Colt, we're gonna watch. If you're on Discord, we're gonna watch it today. But if not, definitely feel free to watch it, and we can discuss it on the stream tomorrow or Monday. We're gonna start trying to do more mental health movies, and so we decided to start with that one. So, and any others that people are welcome to throw in. Yeah, we have a Discord. This stream is only part of the Outliers experience, and we have a Discord server that we hang out on and have conversations and watch movies and TV shows and stuff. Hey, Daniel Barry, happy Saturday. Good to see you. Oh yeah, it can get kind of busy with the notifications if you don't. There's a learning curve to managing that. That throws off a lot of people in the beginning. It's going pretty good. Just kicking off the Saturday. I was telling everyone how we're going to start watching mental health movies since it's May, since it's Mental Health Awareness Month. And we're going to start with Ordinary People today, the Mary Tyler Moore movie from the 80s, 1980. And it's Robert Redford's first picture. So we're going to watch that today and talk about it. I'll either do an evening stream or we'll talk about tomorrow or something. A troll trap. Oh, interesting. I tend to find more trolls, other than Frank, more trolls on here on YouTube than in the Discord. At least mine. People stay pretty well. Man, I wish they'd quit using those GIFs, because every time you get a notification, and so you run to Discord to see who responded to the conversation, and it's just a little picture of a monkey dancing around or something, and it's a time suck to go answer every notification and have it just be a GIF. So I made a separate channel that they can talk in GIFs, because I use GIFs too. I use them on Twitter all the time. But on Discord, there's no way to separate the GIFs notifications from every other notification. And there's no way to disable the GIFs that I could find. So if anybody knows one or some kind of hack, let me know. But other than that, yeah, it's a good place. There's different topic channels. I put in a mental health support channel and a men's mental health channel. So if people need to go in and talk to somebody, they have a channel to do it in. And there's also voice and video channels like Zoom. So you can also connect through voice and or video. That's how we have a lot of our discussions outside of the stream. Yeah, we were talking about that today. Like, everybody knows her as the TV mom, like Mary Tyler Moore, the nice modern TV lady. And to see her in this role is quite it's a credit to her and her range as well. Like I said, it's anybody that's dealt with a narcissist or lived with a narcissist, they're going to recognize it right away. It's not overt. It's not dramatic. Well, I mean, it's dramatic in a way, but it's not like Joan Crawford in Mommy Dearest, that kind of narcissism. It's your everyday, ordinary person, member of the community, but it's still like it's subtle, but it's there, and it's and you they you, I mean you, they make it obvious, like you pick up on it, and it just she's chilling. She's so cold, and she just leaves you cold. And it's like I said, if you've experienced a narcissist, you'll recognize the personality type behind the smile. Oh, like carrying off from her Mary Tyler Moore character. Well, part of it was the tragedy that the family is recovering from. But even before that, that just shows how narcissism can be impacted by external events. And that might be the first time that the narcissism comes out to that level of malignancy or pathology. But because some narcissists have the mask, that they're really good at keeping the mask. So unless some extreme event comes to crack that mask, or some stressor to crack that mask, sometimes they can keep it going for a while, and without people noticing. Oh yeah. Yes, indeed. In fact, I watched that with a good friend of mine, and that was his comment on it after, to me, like, oh, this is why you wanted me to watch this movie. You think feminism causes narcissism? Like, I think, because we're all, narcissism is a spectrum. We're all, or can be, narcissistic. There's an element of healthy narcissism that we all need. Babies are narcissistic, toddlers, infants. So it's when it's the degree of narcissism, and it's would be when it becomes what they used to call malignant, or now I guess it would be pathological, or personality that rises to the level of diagnostic criteria. Um, I see that as innate and kind of part of all of us. Like, every one of us are vulnerable to it. I think some of us like that kind of narcissism is probably developmental, like something, a combination of something doesn't fully develop, and or some early childhood trauma that can impact the development, or both. And so you kind of get stuck in this narcissistic state even as an adult, that we call narcissism or NPD. But I didn't necessarily see it as gendered or caused by anything external, other than maybe a trauma or stressful events. Yeah, and there's also inverted narcissism, covert narcissism. Last year for Mental Health Month, I had a covert narcissist on, Zachary. You could Google his name, and we did an entire stream and talking about the inverted type of narcissism and narcissism somewhat in general. And he told bits of his story as well. And then we have Hank, of course, our beloved Hank, who is an openly identified narcissist. He's very clear about it. He's said it over and over and over. And I don't know if that fact escapes others or not, but I certainly keep it at the forefront with all my experiences with, because I'm a narcissist magnet. It's like imprinted on me in childhood. So like the way it was explained to me, like I didn't grow up with physical abuse at all. So we didn't get hit, spanked, anything like my mom was not big on physical discipline. And she made an exception in some cases for my brothers because they could get very rowdy. So like there was like a few wooden spoons that may have gotten broken. But for the most part, we were not physically disciplined. So if I'm in a relationship or dating somebody and they push me or slap me or get physical with me, in fact, I had an ex one time, the narcissist that I dated, the first narcissist. We were laying in bed one day, and we perfectly normal conversation that broke down, and then it got into some kind of like petty attacks, and he leaned over. We had our clothes on, and he like grabbed my shirt collar and twisted it up and underneath my chin like this in the middle of the conversation. And I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? I said, what is this, domestic violence? And he said, well, maybe that's what you need. And I was out of that bed in seconds. I was packing my shit. He was on the phone with our friends, like Jeff's leaving. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it. Because I have so low tolerance for even anything approaching violence. And my I have a healthy like alarm for it and resistance to it. But with things like narcissism, because I'm desensitized to it, those alarms don't go off. So when somebody's being psychologically abusive or I mean I can tell now, but if they're being narcissistic, like the classic red flags of it, grandiosity, um self-absorption, lack of empathy, etc., I won't notice those flags. I'll rationalize them away. Just like a person that grew up with violence. If they're in a relationship and somebody slaps them or pulls their shirt collar or something, and that's what they grew up with, that is their norm. So it doesn't register as anything dangerous. It's like, oh yeah, this is normal. I'm familiar with this. And so their alarm system doesn't get set off. And with me, the physical alarm does, but the emotional, psychological one does not. In the same way, a victim of physical abuse might not react when someone's physical with them in the same way. And so my alarm system for narcissism is definitely broken. And they sense that. That makes me very vulnerable. It's like blood in the water. And they come to me. Like they are very attracted to me because of that vulnerability and that lack of ability to filter out their red flags quickly. Eventually, now what I am good at, when I figure it out, when the light bulb does go off, and it can take a while, I can act instant. Like I can execute an exit plan like that. There's no sentimentality or like having to take some time to get over the relationship or get out or let's try. Like once I realize the situation, I just like eject and I just fly out of that plane like that. Yeah, it's the verbal stuff, the subtle. For some reason, I provoked a lot of denigration in people. And I now looking back, I think it was a form of tall poppyism in a way. Um, I think I was maybe threatening in ways that I didn't realize. And so they were trying to kind of keep me more manageable. But I was always the scapegoat. If they needed the butt of a joke or to tease someone about something, I was the go-to person for all of that. I had the kick me sign on the shirt and could walk around for half a day and not even notice it was there while the whole school laughs at me. But no, I draw the line at physical. My mom was not physical with us. She didn't let my stepdad be physical with us, or even my real dad. She very much protected us from that, and it's been a line for me in my life as well. So I don't know if that's like an example of nurture, but now we were rowdy as kids. We roughhoused and wrestled and fought and threw punches and stuff like that. But it wasn't abuse. It wasn't spankings, belts, and it wasn't abuse. There's a difference between spanking and abuse. Hey, Chris.
What's up?
Yeah, and called if you're familiar with IFS or internal family systems, you might take a look because the scapegoat role is one of the main roles. It happens, and we didn't grow up with alcoholism. My mom was not an alcoholic, but you can, if there's alcoholism in your family or somebody in your family that is an alcoholic, it can set up that alcoholic family system, whether the family itself turns out to actually be alcoholic. And that's what happened with us. So the original family constellation was set up in such a way that those alcoholic roles did emerge. Just like a rescue, somebody that tries to be the hero of the family. There's the scapegoat, somebody that tries to put on the good face and keep up appearances, and enabled alcoholic, et cetera, et cetera. So there's specific dynamics that rise up around keeping the alcoholic safe, continue the alcoholism.
I think a lot of those archetypic
those patterns got set up, even though none of us ourselves were alcoholics. And the scapegoat was definitely the role that I got cast into very early. And partly, I think, and this is just speculation on my part, for gender reasons, because I was pretty much until my brothers came along, I was like the lone male in a very heavily female family. So the dynamics with them were different than me, and I was just kind of out of the loop just by virtue of not fitting into that and being autistic and not even picking up on it in the first place. Hey, Chris, good morning.
Yeah. Got a new. I tried to set up a new audio system today to see if it's any better.
That too, the truth teller. I'm that too. I'm an Enneagram 8 7 wing, which is called the Challenger. And y'all see that on here a lot too. And that's why the people come on here, they say I'm a shadow worker, and people face the parts of themselves that they normally have to face because I don't back down. And a lot of other people will kind of protect people from themselves in a way that I don't. I confront and challenge that stuff. And I like it when people do that in me. But all appearances to the contrary. Chris, we're trying to. Oh, you have a machine microphone tonight. We're you're not coming in.
No, I haven't been talking.
Let me check your settings.
You're not hearing me at all?
Everything looks normal on my end.
You guys can't hear me, really?
Can y'all hear Chris? I'm not able to hear Chris.
I mean, it's showing it coming up in the.
Oh, are you an Enneagram 8 2? I would not have picked you as that, but that also explains.
How about now? Is that too loud?
You hear loud? Okay, so
too loud.
But it's my speakers are working.
All right, I automatically adjust mic volume. I've got to use this thing. This is a pro recording mic. This is actually
it switched my speakers for some reason. Welcome. I don't know what you've been saying until now, but welcome.
I hadn't said much. I was just saying hi. This is just like the audio setup I have. I have to kind of get used to it because this is like a really expensive pro microphone, so it should get good quality, but you have to know where to hold it and everything. Otherwise, it gets kind of over distorted sounding. And I have my headphone amp and my professional headphones on, so maybe that will keep the audio issues from being so prevalent. I fixed my car. After the stream yesterday, I went immediately outside and started working the car, and I worked on it until 7 a.m. and fixed it. So.
Your car, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's done?
Yeah.
And it rolls around and everything?
Yeah. Drove it all the way to the grocery store.
Yeah. All right. That deserves celebration. How are we celebrating?
Ice cold air conditioning. There's a few cosmetic things that happened along the way that I'm, I cracked the windshield a little bit, but it's not too bad. And
sometimes my insurance company used to come and fix stuff like that for free because it was cheaper than replacing the windshield.
Yeah, and there's plenty of options for windshields and stuff like that. I'm not really worried about it right now. I mean, I'm just the thing that I wanted most was the air conditioning fixed, and that is fixed. So
yeah, your audio is better, but there is some kind of feedback or something coming through it, some fuzz.
Let me see here. It's fuzz because of how I need to turn down. I need to adjust the settings between StreamYard and I need to get StreamYard settings at one point, and I get my input on this box put in right. It's always something.
Yep, it's always something.
I was just streaming a video game, and I thought it was coming through okay. So I was like,
yeah, we watched you a little bit. I watched it at the beginning of the show. What are you celebrating today for having finished the car?
I'm very tired. I literally did not sleep last night.
We don't have to go long today. I don't know if you saw the announcement, but Frank and I are going to watch Ordinary People after this. We're going to start doing more mental health movies since it's Mental Health Month.
Yeah, sounds really good. Yeah.
So this stream doesn't even have to go very long today. If people would rather do that.
I mean, I'm not saying like I can't stream long because I'm tired. I'm just saying like I don't have any plans to do anything too crazy because I'm very tired. I was actually kind of passing out on that video game stream a little bit. I was kind of getting a little bored. And
Oh, from the war. Okay, that's what I meant to ask you. Is that my roommate used to be into this game that looks similar to that, and you play with a bunch of people, and like each year they come out with a new edition, and then everybody starts.
Diablo?
No, it's either Warhammer or Warcraft, but I don't.
No, probably Warcraft. This is more like Diablo.
I don't know Diablo, but I'm. Are they similar? Oh, hey Chuck.
Warcraft
the Laurie Anderson thing.
Warcraft is more like a real-time strategy game, and
This
Diablo
was you fought monsters, and like when you found a monster, other players from across the world that's playing at the same time as you could join in the battle, and you could
that was
all
World
fight
of Warcraft. That was
World of Warcraft. That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Like a fantasy setting.
Yeah.
All right. Is that what you were playing?
No.
Okay.
No.
What were you playing?
I was playing something called Warhammer Inquisitor, which is basically, like I said, a Diablo clone, which is just like a game where you run around and you're way overpowered and you destroy everything and collect all this loot, and then you go back to your ship and you find out that none of the loot was any good and you throw it all away and then you go start it again. It's pretty.
Is there a way to know the loot's not good before you take it?
No, not in this one, because you don't, because it just automatically just gets added to your inventory. Everything that gets dropped just automatically gets added, so you don't have to go around running around. I actually prefer that. But they could have made a lot of improvements to the inventory management system, but that's okay. It's a fun game. It's a stupid power fantasy game. There's like no real serious challenge once you find a good combination of weapons. You just literally just like run around, just like I'm just like a spinning tornado of death through everything. So.
Were you spinning Tornado of Death today?
Yeah, that's what I was. If you were watching me at all, that's all you saw was like the character spinning around, just like turning everything to bloody chunks.
From what I could tell, it was like this little colored circle moving around. But from what I could tell,
you can't tell what the character looks like because she's constantly spinning with her blades.
Oh, you're playing a girl?
Yeah, well, I always usually play the female types because they're usually faster. I prefer fast, nimble characters like assassins and stuff like that. And I don't think it gave me an option on gender, and I don't spend time on character.
So it forced you into a girl?
I think the default for the class I wanted was a girl. I probably could have changed it, but I don't give a fuck because I can't see the character barely on screen, so it doesn't really matter to me. I'm not really I'm not really pretending like I'm that character. I'm just like having fun with it. I do that all the time with games, like when they have like those extreme character creation things where you can customize everything. I just go random, hit random once and take whatever it gives me, unless it's something I think is just hideous. Like I'll just take whatever the first random thing is. I don't really care about the character creation stuff, especially like in like Dark Souls and stuff where you're wearing armor all the time anyway. What does it matter what you look like? You can't see yourself. That's the way most of those games are. That you end up having armor and stuff on, so like it doesn't really matter what gender or whatever you are. It doesn't bother me any.
I know my friend with his Warcraft character. He constantly kept upgrading their outfit, and they would look cooler and cooler with each new edition.
Yeah,
and you could like in great detail. You could do like a close up of them and show them in great detail. And he had all these different characters he had built up to choose from. And
MMOs are really into that sort of thing. Massively multiplayer games. They're really big in cosmetics.
It did seem massive and multiplayer.
Oh, I mean, World of Warcraft is the biggest MMO of all time. There'll probably never be another one that'll usurp it. I mean, it at one point like had several million concurrent players and like
at the same time.
Yeah, it was an insane phenomenon for a while.
My God. What servers are powering all that?
I don't know. Because not only do you have to buy the game, you had to buy the game for like $60, and then you had to pay a monthly fee of like $20 a month to play it. I never got it. I never even tried to get into it. I knew some guys that were really addicted to what was it called? Runecraft back in the day. It was like
yeah. I know.
It was like proto World of Warcraft, And like these dudes, like they lost their fucking minds, dude. Like I stopped hearing from them. They were good friends of mine. And one day I went over to their house to see if they were okay, and they were literally like crying because the servers were offline for RuneScape, and like they were having like a nervous breakdown, and I just kind of had to like back out of there slowly, like just like, okay, this is weird.
Well, that's a good thing to talk about, mental health and video gamers. I had a friend that I used to Zoom with during COVID that was into EVE Online, and
Oh, Eve
never
is
saw him
crazy.
again.
That's
I
a
never
crazy
saw him
game.
again. He disappeared. I've reached out to him. I don't know what happened, but EVE Online was the last thing he was seen playing.
Dude, EVE Online is an evil freaking game too. People lose. Well, first of all, they spend real money to buy these ships and stuff like that. But in EVE Online, as opposed to like other things like where you buy a ship or a cosmetic, you have it forever. Even if you lose it, you can get it back or whatever. In EVE Online, everything is permanent. Okay, so let's say you spend, I don't know, $1,000 buying some fake video game ship, and on that video game ship, you go around, you pirate a bunch of gold, which is actually worth real money if you convert it back into US dollars. You pirate a bunch of gold from other players, and that money is on your ship. Somebody comes along and destroys that ship. Not only is the ship gone, but all the actual money, all the actual thousands of real life US dollars are gone. And that's happened numerous times in EVE Online. Like
So
just
is it like, are there fights and stuff breaking out over it?
oh
Are
yeah,
people like
yeah.
go into people's house and like
Oh,
threaten
I
to?
don't know about that. I can't imagine that
Because
hasn't
when you
happened.
fuck with people's money, that's different than just a friendly video game among friends for points.
There's a couple of YouTubers that have made videos on it, and in Crack, back when I worked for them, there was a guy that like his like obsession was chronicling EVE Online like tragedy stories. I want to say like the greatest loss in any video game history in terms of fake currency that actually was worth real money was something in the realm of close to $500,000 was destroyed in one battle.
I'm surprised it was that low.
It was probably more than that. I'm trying to be conservative because I don't remember it that well. It's not something that I never got into it. I never got into any of those. If I had to pay a monthly fee to play the game, I didn't play it. I didn't give a shit. If I buy the game, I bought the game. My game now, I can play it when I want to. If I have to like commit to like paying a monthly fee, and then it creates this thing where you feel like you have to play the game because you're paying for it, kind of like the gym or something, right? It's like
I
a
did that
chore.
for AOL. I paid a monthly fee, and
That was for internet access though. That was a little bit different. It wasn't just for a game. It was to get access to internet. We still pay for
But
internet.
what I'm saying is, if people are okay with that model, then let the people that want to use it use
Oh
it.
yeah, like absolutely. People that want to do it,
It's not a
more power.
strange thing to see in today's society, like
Yeah,
monthly membership fees. You
not
even rent software nowadays, you have to keep paying your word fee.
Well,
none of
my son-in-law has spent. There's a game on for the phones. It's called Star Trek Fleet Command or something like that,
I've heard of that one.
and he's spent $6,000.
Oh my god.
Yes, and he's constantly like telling my daughter that, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. Hour and a half later, he's coming back from the bathroom. Things like that. He's sitting in there playing the game. He's totally addicted to it. And
Yeah.
when he loses a ship or loses a battle, you can tell it immediately. His whole demeanor changes. It's
My ex was a
crazy.
video game addict. He was the same way. It's a real
No.
thing.
I told the story before. I got addicted to Marvel Snap for a short period of time, for about 3-4 months. It was actually getting myself off of that got me into doing streaming, because I had gotten really into Marvel Snap, and I'm proud to say I never spent more than the only thing I ever spent on it was the they had like a monthly pass thing where it was like $5.
Were there mental health reasons involved? Do you think
yes,
it was a attempt
yes,
like
no,
a mental health tool?
it was very, very bad for my mental health. Because
is that what drove you to in the first place? Like some attempt to restore your mental health?
Yeah, it was an attempt to kind of escape from reality because reality was really crushing me at the moment, and I got. And it was like something I started doing like at night after the baby was asleep and like I knew Lindsay was safe, and I would just do that to try to wind down. And then like I don't know, I got super addicted to it to the point where like when I lost a battle, I felt sometimes physically ill from it, and like and I actually got angry, like angry to a degree that I never get towards people in real life. And that's when I was like, no, this isn't normal. I just
And I
about like
bet
I just about
you
punched a wall
stayed up all night too, didn't you?
a few
Only
times,
planning
more than a few.
to spend a few minutes, and then next thing you know, the sun's coming up.
Yeah, more than a few times. Yeah, more than a few times.
Yep.
I do that with video games anyway, though. Like if I really get into the game, especially if it's like a shorter like narrative game that has an end to it, I tend to kind of like binge it like I would like a Netflix series or something like that, you know. I like to try to get all the way through it.
Mm,
But
yep.
with Marvel Snap, there's no end to it. And thankfully, like I said, that I never spent more than a total of like $20 total the whole time I played it, because they didn't have a ton of microtransaction stuff. They just had stuff where you could win. I mean, you could pay like $5 to get a new card and stuff like that or whatever. Everything else you had to get randomly. And it had that kind of that gotcha, what they call it, I think gacha systems like that, you know, where you kind of get like you get random stuff and loot boxes or whatever. And I don't know. It's not a terrible game. I'm not even going to talk shit about the game itself, because the game itself actually had a lot of intelligent strategy and some really interesting parts to it. But they were just like Jeff has talked about with his ex that worked in that industry, you know, that worked on making them so addictive and stuff like that. It had all of those addictive dopamine hit type things in it. And whenever you were like right there at the edge of winning and you're all hyped up for like winning, like maybe you like did like a big long tournament, like, you know, where you were battling your way up to the top of it, and you get surprise killed or beaten on that last match. That's what happened to me in that last time. I got so angry, I had to I didn't know what to do with myself. I almost punched the wall. I almost I got up and I was just like, I wanted to hurt something, and I was like, and
that's when mental health.
That's when I stopped. That's when I stopped.
Yeah, that's good. That you knew to stop. That you recognized.
No, yeah, I saw I could actually I literally saw myself in my bathroom mirror whenever I was like this, and I was like, whoa, this is a stupid fucking game about Marvel cards, like Marvel superhero like baseball cards that you play against each other. There's no money on the line. It's not like
was it something about the game itself, or was it just the state you were in at the time and it happened to be that game?
I don't know, but a lot of other people are addicted to that game the way I was. So I mean, they could be in a similar mental health situation. I don't know, but the game is very addictive for a lot of people. I don't know if it's as big of a deal now as it was then, but it was for a little while. I certainly wasn't in the greatest mental health spot maybe ever, but I was better than I had been in the past. In the past the couple of years before that, it was mostly just something I was doing to wind down, like I said, like after the baby was asleep and stuff. And then it was just like, I don't know. It's the only one of those mobile games that ever got me like that, because I've tried tons of those mobile games and all those different kinds of like ones that I used to play this one called Gems of War that was kind of like Puzzle Quest, and I used to play it, but I played it very casually and I didn't really care about it, and I just kind of like forgot about it after a while. Marvel Snap was different. Like I was like, it turned me into a person I didn't like being. Like normally, like whenever I play like a competitive, because like in Marvel Snap, every game you play isn't against a computer. You're playing against a real person. So every time you win, you take something away from somebody else. And so, but you don't lose money. You just lose like fake game shit that doesn't cost anything anyway, right? So it's like gambling with fake gold, you know, and the gold doesn't even cost you. And so and like whenever I would win, I mean, I found myself being like, yeah, fuck you, kind of like, it's like I got really way too into it, like somebody like an asshole chody sports guy, you know, like with like football games or something like that. It turned me into that kind of person, and I did not like that. I did not like what it brought out in me. I was very, very, and I got very aware of that. And then once I got that mad that one day where I just about punched the wall. I mean, I came this close to literally just putting my fist through a wall. And I was like, whoa, I've never done that before in my life. I've never punched a wall.
Have you felt that kind of rage in real life from actual people?
I don't know. You know, it's hard to judge from 42 years, right? I've definitely felt rage towards people before. But I'm not sure that I've ever felt that much visceral rage as I felt in that moment, and that's why it scared me so much. Like, it's like, this is more angry than I've ever been about people fucking me over or doing horrible things to me and stuff like that. There's something unhealthy here. There's something like almost spiritually sick about this, you know? Like just like icky, you know? I didn't like it. I didn't like the way it affected me or anything. That night I deleted it off my phone. I deleted it off my computer. I don't think I ever deleted my account, but I should go back and do that just to finish it off. But
Chris, pull your shirt up so Frank can see some boobs.
Yeah, there's no boobs in ordinary people. I'm sorry to say. Like, I don't even think you see a bra. You might maybe see a bra. Really, Mary Tyler Moore and Elizabeth McGovern are the only two prominent female characters.
I'm not sure.
Mary Tyler Moore's
at that age you want to see him. Hey, back in the day, you know, when she's on Dick Van Dyke and stuff. I mean, hell yeah, cute as hell.
So
her little capris and shit. Hell yeah. I had a crush on Mary Tyler Moore when I was a kid because, like, I used to watch all those Nick at Night shit. You know.
I didn't know. Those were the white sitcoms. I never understood them. Like Bob Newhart, Mary Tyler Moore.
I didn't understand them.
They had that one at that restaurant at the top of the tower, and I didn't understand any of them. I didn't understand the humor, the plots, why they were even having the conflict they were having. But I understood the Jeffersons, and I understood what's happening, and I understood shows like that. I even understood Three's Company.
Yeah, no.
And the
one that I didn't understand the most was that one called Soap with Katherine Hellman. What the fuck was that?
It was a parody of soap opera. It was a parody of satire.
Yes, it was satire.
I didn't get it at all. I didn't like soap operas to begin with, and the parody version was even worse.
It was supposed to be over the top and dumb. It's not that great. I've seen it before myself, but I don't think it's that great. But but you're talking about 70s sitcoms, and I actually I know very little about 70s sitcoms. I didn't. They weren't doing a bunch of reruns of them when I was growing up, and I was born after that, so I never really saw many. I remember seeing WKRP in Cincinnati, but I think that was more of an 80s thing, probably.
Oh yeah, that's another one I didn't understand. With Lonnie Anderson. Yeah, I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
I remember Night Court.
Fuck that! Who watched that? There's not a single funny character or joke in that entire movie.
I mean, when I say I remember it, I don't remember I liked it or anything. I just remember seeing it on. honestly, there's not much in the way of the first sitcom I really liked was News Radio, and
Who was in? I vaguely remember who was in
News
that
Radio is Phil Hartman, Dave Foley, Joe Rogan. It's where Joe Rogan got to start.
I got a question, Jeff.
You got what?
A question.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Wasn't there a guy on your chat named Old Joe?
From Canada. He was here for a little while, and he said he's gonna get off he did an iFi, or Joshua, I'm gonna get off the internet.
Yeah, he's on somebody else's show now.
I know. And he came and he said goodbye one night, and we said we'll see if he comes back, and he never did. Actually, I think he came back one day, and then he never came back again. But I see him on all the other panels, so I'm like, how is that a break?
I was just checking. I wanted to make sure I wasn't losing my mind.
No, he was on here a couple of times, and I liked him. We had some good conversations, but he's the one that tried to convince me that some of the people on here were trolls and were taking advantage of me.
I didn't mean to kill the conversation. Sorry, Chris.
Oh no, it was a mercy killing.
When you mentioned old shows, it kind of reminded me of that fella Old Joe, and I'm like, I've seen that name around lately.
Yeah, I see him in the other chat. And hi, Joe, if you happen to be out there. Hi.
Chris got mad and rage quit. Oh no.
Well, that's okay. I don't know how long we're gonna go today anyway. We have those movies to watch. Mental health.
You and Frank again?
Yeah. And anybody else who wants to
when Frank, you guys go on a date now?
It's and it was actually Frank's idea. This is Frank's mental health initiative. You have Frank to thank for all this good mental health stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, we used to. I have a ton of mental health movies, so we won't run out. Yeah, Colt, if you want to try it again, the secret is to I would turn off all your notifications and then gradually turn the ones back on that you find helpful instead of trying to figure out which ones to turn off, because they'll spam you all night long if you don't.
Hank is really bad about 24/7. And it's like,
on the
Lord.
Discord?
Yeah.
Oh, he must not post in any of mine.
It's usually in Machine Lies.
Oh yeah, that's the one I got kicked out of. Oh.
That's right, you did, didn't you?
I'm missing all of Hank's posts. Oh, no.
If you would change your attitude, Jeff, things might go a little better.
I have to reconsider it. Not even though it was all I was doing was saying their own position, but for some reason it became about my attitude, and I have to reconsider it. It's not approved or something. It's not what do you? I remember that wasn't there a country music song, Attitude Adjustment? Better
something like that.
And they used to like sing it growing up to joke with people, like you need to get your attitude adjusted. But I never knew what any of that meant. Like attitude is so vague and subjective and personal to a person. Like to go after somebody's attitude to make a logical point seems strange.
Liv is the authority on it, so that might who you need to check with.
Well, hopefully he comes back. I mean, I am definitely willing to talk about it.
What are you guys talking about?
The thing yesterday of
Jeff's attitude.
Oh yeah, no, I was going to talk to you about that off stream. Okay. I talked to Liv about it for a long time, and yeah, he's not like mad. He's very hurt though.
Very hurt
by the comment that I said, or by the fact that he wasn't on the stream anymore.
Just with the suddenness and like with the it was just like even I thought it wasn't like You didn't really give him a warning or anything. You just like kicked him off like all of a sudden.
Well, I don't give warning. Like that feels infantilizing to give grown adults. Like, Chris, this is your final warning. If you do this again,
No, I mean, well, final warning. Yeah, that's still extreme. But
the whole thing I would react to about Lib was the maternalism. Like, I'm not going to turn around and like be even more maternalistic. The conversation shifted from a dialogue or debate where we're addressing rational points to something emotional, where all of a sudden my response was horrific, which has nothing to do with logic. And it makes me seem like what I said was dangerous, and that it was related to my attitude, which again, that's not something you can debate or like. So it's like there was this shift from the rational to the emotional, very abrupt. So whatever I said, however he took my comment, I think evoked something emotional in him that shifted the conversation out of dialectic into some other tactic. And I was very sensitive to it right away, because when people start using manipulative tactics instead of rational dialogue, I noticed that shift. And so that's what I was reacting to.
Oh, I even caught it. I saw it immediately.
It's also kind of cruel when all I was doing was restating his own side's position. Like, that was what the trans activists were saying. And then I was being punished for their position. Like, I was the one being made to feel like I was holding a position that was horrific, and
it wasn't personal. You didn't take it to a personal level.
Position. So he was attacking his own people through me. Like, I was a proxy for.
I guess I need to go back and rewatch it, because like in my memory of it, like in the moment, I didn't even hear. I didn't hear anything except for the words like. I heard him say like 3 words and the word attitude, and then it was cut off. So I don't even know what he was going to say. I had no idea what he was even going to say in that moment. So I guess I need to rewatch it.
It was a backhanded comment, is what it was.
It was something there was definitely a shift in the conversation in reaction to my comment. And I don't know what was so horrific about what I had said, because it was exactly what the trans people were saying. And Steve even acknowledged, he's like, yeah, that's my understanding of it too. That is one of the goals, is to normalize the fact that women have penises and the men can get pregnant.
And it wasn't even a personal attack.
Straw man of the argument. And it's not, it's their own argument.
I mean, I agree with all that. I didn't hear I didn't hear what he was saying in response. I had no idea what he was trying to say. So
he said that was a horrific straw man, and I need to, and I should reconsider my attitude. Or I need to reconsider my attitude.
Somebody asked Liv a question, and in response to answering, and it might have been Steve's question, but in response to answering, he said, I'm not going to talk to Jeff unless he seriously changes his attitude, or something like that. It went south within a split second.
Yeah, it became about it didn't become about the argument. It became about my attitude. And I'm very sensitive to being as the scapegoat, and I'm sensitive to being a threat or a danger or a problem child. So if you're going to set me up now to somehow be a threat or a problem, I'm going to react to that right away, because I have a hypersensitivity to that because of the role I've been thrown into my whole life. So when people try to manipulate and maneuver me into suddenly being this, oh, that's a horrific straw man, you just not an inaccurate or invalid or whatever, but horrific. It wasn't logical term, it was emotional terms.
Yeah.
So he was evaluating my position, that my paraphrase of their position on emotional terms, not on logical terms. And that right there was a change. And so when it became, because I think he had an emotional reaction to what I was saying.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. Any of the rest of it that I was going to say to you, I'll say off stream. It's not important to say on stream.
All right, that's good. That sounds good.
And I've been kicked off panels before. You get kicked
off. You get kicked off.
All temporary. I'm willing to talk about it. I'm going to have it's because I can't leave the panel. I'm the one person that can't step away like everyone else.
Right.
Yeah.
And he took it to a personal level as opposed to keeping it in the conversation level.
That's what it seemed
Maybe
like.
so. Maybe
It was a
That's what it
shift
seemed to
about my
me.
character as a person, not about the position itself on its own
Not
merit.
about the issue. Yes.
Hey, Cynthia, what's
Hey,
up?
Cynthia, I haven't seen you in a while. I can't remember. There was something I needed to talk to you about just the other day, and
Your
I
thrift
cannot.
road. Your
I
visit
cannot
to
remember.
thrift road.
Oh no, I remember now. I was actually going to ask you if you knew a good mechanic, but now I fixed the car, so I don't need one. So I was actually, because I was like, I bet Cynthia knows a good mechanic in town that might help me get this back together for a decent price or something if I could raise the money. And but now I don't need it. So but still,
I got one question, Chris. How did you put the drill through the windshield?
I didn't put the drill through the windshield.
Oh, I thought you said you did. You broke the windshield with the drill.
I cracked the windshield with the drill because the drill buckled, and I didn't have enough strength to hold on to it, and it got away from me, and it turned like the handle of
gotcha.
The battery hit the windshield and cracked it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you could kill somebody with those batteries on these drills, as heavy as some of them are.
I can't believe it's gone, but I had a massive welt on my arm. I had a massive welt on my arm for like 4 or 5 days. And I can't believe it's gone already. I thought it was going to be one of those welts that was going to be there for like months. It looked bad. But
been there, done that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm all cut up and beat up and tired and shit, but I'm at the same time I'm happy that I got it. Not just that I get it fixed, but that it runs fine. It ran great. It didn't have any issues with it wasn't driving rough or anything. Like I said, there's some cosmetic things got messed up in the process that I don't really care about. But the air conditioning is blowing cold and it's consistent. And it didn't unlike all the other times that I got the air conditioner fixed before this.
Hey,
the air conditioner didn't stop to go warm in like 10 minutes.
Up?
What's up, Cynthia?
Chilling. Hey, I know this great mechanic in town he's the only person I know that will let you bring your own parts, and he'll only charge you for labor.
He already fixed it.
Future, I will keep that in mind.
Definitely. and he's like super cool.
Like 4 days ago when I was at my lowest point with doing this thing, whenever I cut my hand and I hurt my arm really bad, and I was just like, I don't think I'm going to continue doing this. But then the next day it didn't hurt as bad, so I wasn't hurt as badly as I thought I was. So I kept going, and I actually got it done last night. I stayed up. I got off stream whatever time we ended the stream yesterday, like at 5 or something, and I was in the car working on it from 5 until 7 this morning. And
damn,
all night long.
Dang.
Well, I had to do a lot of things that I had to then undo and redo them again because of the way the wiring harness is. Like I didn't remember exactly.
So yes, all night long. The answer is yes, all night long. Okay.
I'm just saying the reason why is because I had to keep undoing and then redoing stuff.
I had a question for you too. I have cleaned out my closet, and I have several purses and shoes that I want to go sell, or just to see if I can get anything. Where did you say was the best place to go in the area?
Yeah, I'm planning on going there sometime this week too. Anyway, my favorite resale shop right now, anyway, the one that's consistently giving me the best prices and the most money per trip is unfortunately all the way in Burleson.
That's
it's the Uptown Cheapskate in Burleson. It's for whatever reason, everyone there is super young, and they actually, for whatever reason, which is really funny to me, they all think I'm really cool there.
Yeah.
And they're really nice to me. And so if you go in there with me and they literally, they hook me up. They hook me up
Cynthia,
with they buy
Just
stuff.
give
They
them to
don't.
Chris and let him carry them up there for you.
Oh, you can come up there. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
I could introduce you to them. They're really nice. They're really nice kids.
Okay, we
Really
can
nice
plan
kids.
that because I don't know if I want to do cash. Would they do store credit?
They do. They do.
Do they have Louis
Louis
Vuitton purses?
They occasionally do. Uptown Cheapskate doesn't deal too much in the higher end. If you want Louis Vuitton stuff and you have stuff of that
Yeah, I
caliber
have
to
like
sell,
a lot of I have a lot of high end purses and shoes.
okay. Then the place I would go is called 2nd Street on Greenville Avenue. Or in Deep Ellum. Either one.
There's the Second Street. The Second Street buys, I know them. I didn't know that they buy.
Deep Ellum and Greenville Avenue both have they have a massive selection of Louis Vuitton, Gucci, all that stuff like that. They for some reason wouldn't even consider my Gucci shoes for some reason, and I don't know why. Because they take everything else Gucci and they're in great shape, but they wouldn't even look at them. They said that they didn't take shoes, but they sell shoes there. I don't know. I think the guy was just being a jerk, but they were pretty decent on price. They certainly they did not. I did not get as good a percentage on my sold there as I did with the Uptown Cheapskate in Burleson. But I mean, the Uptown Cheapskate in Burleson will take like anything from like kind of cool old T-shirts, as long as it doesn't have any major stains or isn't like super wrinkly or anything. They'll take just about everything, and like they're really nice kids. They're all like high school.
I bet they do that because it's Burleson, and Burleson's way far from Dallas.
It's an hour drive from my house.
Oh yeah, it's a minute. It's a road trip. I just passed it yesterday.
So are y'all going thrifting? Did y'all decide?
Maybe.
Should we?
We should.
The thrift road. Y'all were gonna do thrift road.
I don't have any money to buy anything.
Me either.
Oh,
that's why you got to go do this.
Maybe you could panhandle while you do it.
But I know that Uptown Cheapskate is much more likely to take bags than they will anything else. They'll take nice bags way before they'll take like any other kind of like high end.
Right.
Real high-end designer accessory type items. They'll take clothing and bags mostly. They do have belts and stuff, but I've never even I took them a whole bunch of diesel belts and they didn't. They said they had too many belts in stock. They couldn't take any. But they especially take men's stuff there. They are always in need of men's stuff. So if you have any men's stuff to take, they pay a very good amount for it. I mean, I walked out of there with like I walked in with like 3 tubs of clothes and only have them take like about a third of what I had and still walked out like $300.
Okay, and that was the one in Burleson likes the men's clothes. Okay,
yeah. At every other Uptown Cheapskate I'm aware of in the area is kind of snooty and kind of like, and they'll be like real like snobby about weird stuff. Like they'll say like, this bin has a weird smell, we can't take any of your stuff or something like that. And I just laundered it. It's like but it's freshly laundered. It smells like laundry.
But if it has a weird smell, like
well, I appreciate it.
But nobody else thought it had a weird smell except that one person. I'm saying.
But I know freshly laundered clothes, they don't have weird smells. So if they have a weird smell, there's something more going on there than freshly laundered.
My point is that it didn't have a weird smell. The guy was being an asshole.
They were making it up.
Yeah,
just to not take your clothes.
Yeah, well, mold and mildew will leave a trace smell too.
It wasn't that. It wasn't that. But as soon as I walked in, the guy had an attitude towards me, and he was like, you could tell he didn't actually, because I brought in like 4 tubs, and he was looking at them like he didn't want to do it. And then 5 minutes later, he was like, "Yeah, we can't take any of this stuff."
Oh my God!
So like inference.
Yeah. It was just he just was just lazy. He didn't want to do it.
Oh yeah, they can do that. But I was making a video on what it's like to clean out your closet, to go sell stuff, and then how much money you can make. Just I don't know, Jeff. Like videos like that where they're just everyday life. Like one day it could be thrifting, the next day it could be like me going to the do cook. Like I don't know. Like what would it be a channel that people would watch if there was so much variety? Or because I
I
don't
think
really,
someone like you could pull it off. Not just anybody could, but you definitely could pull something like
Yeah,
that.
I think you could definitely.
Because you know how to make it fun, and you could take like the most ordinary experience, just go into the grocery store and make it fun and interesting.
Did y'all see my short the other day where I went to?
Can we play it?
Yeah.
If you put a link up, we can watch it.
Okay, give me 1 second.
I'm
And
excited.
I would take your. I would
Because
take
there's no copyright music on it.
no.
I would take your channel, you know, and make each like your thrifting stuff like its own like little series, and your cooking stuff its own little series, and give them all and give them all like their individual playlist. That way, if people just want to watch the thrifting stuff, they can just click on that playlist and watch all the thrifting stuff. You know, I would do that. But other than that, I think that's a good idea.
That reminds me, I have a friend that just started a YouTube cooking channel, and I'm supposed to promote her channel, so I'm gonna put it in the chat, and if you could like it, subscribe if it's something you
For sure. And I just put that by short, and like this was just me at the grocery store, but it is just something I'm glad I filmed it because I caught it.
All right, let's take.
Thank you, Frank. I appreciate that.
I love a good Cynthia short. I'm so excited. I hate how they autoplay though, and I can't control the volume.
I hate that too, Frank. I mean, Jeff. I almost called you Frank. I'm sorry, Frank.
Oh, that's some scary persona type shit happening between us. All right, let's see. Plants and bugs.
Yes.
I will.
Score.
Oh, wait, hang on. I have to change my setting real quick to be able to hear it.
Okay, I just subscribed to her. Man, she already has cool hashtags. Thumbnails.
These are
oh my gosh, this looks amazing.
Clearance for $5.25. They obviously need to be repotted. They have the hanging ferns for $5.25. Or I have to walk away with one. I'm not sure which one yet. Man. Need a big pot. Look at oh my god. Those bugs. All right, to hell with these plants. Hell no. Did y'all see all of those? Oh my god, look. Hell no.
All right. Just bringing roaches in your house then.
Grocery store.
They were so gross.
Ferns.
They were such a great price. They were beautiful ferns.
That's hilarious.
I almost went and I said, no, let me go film it. And I'm so glad I caught it because it was so just
that was priceless. During COVID, my friend went to Walmart on a shopping trip, and he showed me on his cell phone. He walked through the garden center, and he talked to the salespeople. He talked to people in the parking lot. And after being locked down for that long, that was the highlight of my whole day. Like I will never forget this virtual shopping experience at Walmart that my friend took me on with his cell phone. That's what that reminded me of. I love shit like that.
Okay. We'll definitely do a variety. Okay. You know how sometimes you can want to start, but then you talk yourself out of it. Instead, you should just start and see how it goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, unless filming is really getting in the way of what you're doing, there's really no loss to it. You know,
right?
I mean, especially if you get one of those little clips or something you could like put on your shirt or whatever it is to help film it or something like that, or like I hate using. I wouldn't want to use one of the selfie stick things. But
hey, Lanza, by the way.
Oh yeah, hey Lanza.
Hey, brown boy.
How you guys doing?
Oh, pretty good. How are you? What's up?
All right.
You sound sleepy.
Hustle gang.
Oh, pretty good. Cynthia just showed us her video. That was Walmart?
That was Kroger. The good Kroger,
store.
Chris. It was the good Kroger too.
Which one's the good Kroger?
MacArthur.
MacArthur. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. The best Kroger is Mockingbird Lane. Have you been to Mockingbird Lane?
Why is that the best Kroger?
What's on your mind?
The Mockingbird Lane Kroger is insane. It's a gourmet grocery store. And like on Saturdays and weekends, they will give out. I swear to God, we went in there one day and they weren't just giving out samples; they were giving out whole sandwiches and shit.
Nice.
Oh,
that sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, like they were giving like whole like 5-inch subs and
really?
in giant pieces of cake and cookies and shit, and like and it was just like
You're
and like
saying it like that biblical story where Jesus fed everybody.
Yeah.
Jesus the sample.
What is that?
They were giving away
sandwiches for everybody.
They were giving away samples of wine that were like half a plastic cup full of wine.
What?
Yeah. And I was like, are you serious? Because I've been to liquor stores that give out like
you were at a bar, Chris. Let's just be honest. You guys always said like the funniest, like you guys have the funniest like out in public stories, bro.
Well, we're trying to like bring them onto the stream, bring more people from real life into the panelverse.
Not much is gonna beat Chris being like called transgender by the doctor, bro. That was. I'll try. I'll let you know right now. I will try to beat that. That is my goal.
Oh my gosh! Let me tell y'all. I went to go see my grandbabies yesterday. Love, 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 right? And they are 2, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. Wow. And then, so I pull up, like they're 2 hours away. So it's like a huge road trip. So I pull up and the next door neighbor, they're playing with the neighbor's kids. Okay. And so the kids, so we all go in and then the kids and their mom comes in. So it's a mom, an 8-year-old girl, and a 5-year-old boy, right? Except the mom and the girl, they both have like blonde hair, and then from like here down, it's green. And I was like, okay, well, that's interesting. And then the 5-year-old boy was in a dress, right? And so then my little babies, which are the girls, or the 7, 8, 9-year-olds, they were doing their nails. And then he was like, hey, do my nails. And they were like, no, boys don't do their nails. And they were like, shh, don't talk to him that way. I was like, what?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
that sounds like a movie, dude.
No, and I was kind of taken back. And, you know, they were like, okay, you know, and they painted nails and stuff. But so my son and I go get something to drink. And I was like, so why is this little boy in a dress? And he was like, we don't know. We've never asked. I'm like, you've never asked? And so he was like, no. And so
Did they say he's practicing for Hollywood?
Right. He was just like, he's really sad. He said that she has a husband that doesn't show up like ever. Like he never really sees him. So he must be like a truck driver or something. And he said, I really feel bad because she's always just sits outside with her and her 2 kids. He's like nobody ever comes and visits them ever. So he's like, so, you know, we just invite her over, but she just comes over and she just kind of sits on her phone and let the kids play. And I was like, okay. So I went back and I started asking questions, but I didn't get to the dress, but I found out that the little boy, he's on the spectrum, and he's in food therapy.
Sounds like he likes colors too.
Yeah, well, he only eats orange food. So I was able to tell her that I have a bunch of spectrum.
Edible paint, edible food dye, and we can turn anything orange and the kid will eat it.
Right?
Well, he was only eating carrots, oranges, and sweet potatoes, and there was one.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it actually sounds like a smart kid, kind of, actually.
Yeah, it's a pretty healthy diet. It's a pretty healthy diet.
But since I knew so many people on the spectrum, I was able to tell her, I was like, there's also going to be something else he's good with. Like, there's going to be numbers. And so I told her a couple of stories from people I've heard from the spectrum. And she's like, he does remember everybody's phone number, because he kept asking me, what's your phone number? I'm going to call you, because he has a fake phone. And he kept calling me. I was like, again? Like, he called me like every 5 minutes the whole time I was there.
You should pick up and be like, "Hello, like
I don't know. We did.
this
We
is
had
your
conversations. Yeah.
car insurance or
Oh.
something like that." Whatever.
No, I didn't do that. That would have been
Yeah.
funny. But we did.
Growing up, I never did any of like the dress. I never did got. A lot of boys do stuff like that. Like they'll wear a dress or like play makeup with the girls and stuff like that.
The boys wore dresses growing up.
Sometimes, I mean, it was like they were playing pretend though. It was just like playing pretend. They were just
what
like
were they pretending to be?
Just whatever. Like, I mean, it could have been like sometimes they would be playing like superheroes or something.
What,
and like one would be
Jeff, what can't
dress?
you
We play
pretend to do?
superheroes all the fucking time, never in a dress.
Right. And so, but I
It was a female superhero.
play with the dress. The whole
We
dress.
never played female superheroes. We played
Well, I
like
will say,
Spider-Man and teddy bears and stuff.
the little boy, he had a buzz haircut. Like he had a buzz haircut. And so he didn't, it's not like he had long hair or
Was
anything.
it like a little turtle kid?
Well, Naomi Campbell.
Hmm?
Oh wait, never mind.
Now, as an adult, what we did do as an adult, I had two friends whose moms sold like lingerie. They had these lingerie parties, like Tupperware parties. And so they had closets full of lingerie there. And we'd go over to their house and we'd have lingerie parties. And we'd get a bunch of booze and we'd go in their closet. We'd pick one of their mom's lingerie samples. And we'd all sit around the living room in like 90s and watch TV and drink and laugh. We called them lingerie. We did stuff like that, but that was as an adult. We were like working age.
As a young adult teenager, I will admit that
Don't do this. Don't do this to yourself, Chris.
Well, no, there's nothing that I'm not.
Now you have
Chris, you already know it's not good. Okay, go ahead.
It's not that bad. I'm saying that girls would get drunk, right? And they'd start
Chris, please, Chris, that wasn't the best for. Okay, go ahead. Never mind.
But girls did get drunk. Girls got drunk all the time. More drunk than the guys.
The girls would get drunk, and they'd start
happen, Browns boy.
They'd start doing each other's nails. They start doing each other's nails, and once they were done with that, they wanted to do more nails, and they would be like, "Can I do your nails or something like that?"
Oh,
and I was trying to get laid, so I mean, I was like, "Yeah, I don't care. I do my nails." It never worked. It never worked out.
Yeah,
but I mean,
I can't imagine it would.
Oh, maybe we'll have to try.
But it didn't bother me any.
I got what's it called? That mask. What's that called? Is it called mascara? What's that shit that goes on your eyelids?
I used to put that on the
eyeliner.
When I was a guy.
I got it, dude. I have genetic eyeliner, bro. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It makes my eyes look pretty bedroomy.
Yeah, the eyeliner.
All right.
I mean, it was close contact with females. Like, they had your hands.
Who?
No, it was definitely close contact.
Wait, type it in the chat. I'm never gonna hear it with all the people talking. What was your nickname?
I can't say that again.
Oh.
Hopefully, it wasn't even heard the first time because I don't even remember it.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the stream just to find out your nickname. My own stream.
What was it? What did I say? What did I make up? I just made it up. Oh no, I didn't.
Okay. Well.
See, he's just being trolling.
He's good. He's good.
He's not good.
I'm all right. I'm all right. Everyone's doing their thing.
Malice.
I make it easy. I mean, part of it's
malice. No. I wouldn't.
That's why
wouldn't hurt any of you.
Funny.
I wouldn't hurt any of you.
I mean, you could like. What can you do through a computer?
Yeah, you can't. But you're.
I don't have.
Unless you're Montegraph.
I don't have the patience anymore. Is actually what I was thinking to be like.
I like.
No, it's like what do we? Hey, do we? Let me ask you then. Maybe this will answer your question. Do we need another battle? Hell no. Is my answer.
Thank you, Chris. Chris, I'm gonna hit up Discord. Send me a message. Okay, so I'm definitely.
All right.
I'm gonna sell on Second Street, but. Let's try to do like a $20. Let's do a $25 challenge. Like we can say, hey, we can either style an outfit or we can do a little something, but for $25, we can do that and kind of make it a game to show people what you can do with $25 at a thrift store.
Sure. If we could find some good places or good pawn shops too, you can always go in there. They have apps now where you can actually scan just Google Lens will do it. You can just like use your camera and then it'll scan the item and it'll find it on like eBay and shit for you and tell you what it's worth. And so you can find out if like the stuff is like is flippable. And so you can start like people do those streams all the time where they go into thrift shops like that and they just find the stuff that they can flip and they do add up a total of to see how much like they actually technically should be able to make off of it. But.
Okay. Alrighty, well, cool. Well, thank you, Jeff. I do appreciate you allowing me to come up.
Oh yeah, it was good to see you.
Short.
Good to see you.
All right, later, Browns boy.
Yeah. Right.
We are here to heal the nations one at a time.
I think stick with comedy, unless you could find a way to make that funny. Like, what's his name? Bo Burnham. Music.
Oh, dude, I grew up making fun of song. How do you?
Yeah, Cynthia, are you coming to watch the movie? Frank wants to know.
Going on? I didn't mean to run her off, man. I know.
No, she was. Her and Chris were chatting. She was leaving.
What?
Yeah,
I know,
you didn't throw the flow off the other day either. You said you thought you threw the. You said you thought you threw the flow off the other day, but you really didn't.
Oh, bro, that's when we got like a 6th, 7th wind, and it was like hilarious. Do you remember? Tons of jokes, bro. Do you remember? One of them was like, Lib said, he said, you could make an argument that a boob job is a form of transhumanism, and I said, sometimes guys get fat and just get boobs. Is that transhumanism? Yeah. And then Hank said, that's trans fat humanism. Yo, that was one of like 20. It was, and Machine Lies was there.
Yeah, I do. Okay.
Trans fat humanism is a pretty great term. I like that one.
Trans fat humanism.
I mean, a lot of the trans people I see on TikTok videos and stuff, it seems like that's what they should be identifying as. Anyway.
I've never been on TikTok.
I haven't either.
I've never been on it. I've just seen the videos on YouTube of compilations. So
never.
We could probably get our 200 viewers just from TikTok, but I don't know if I want to. That truly feels like selling the soul.
Why?
I was looking for a demon to sell my soul to, but I don't know if that's the demon.
Why would Why would that be? It's not. Demon?
You're not selling your soul to a demon. You're selling it to China. So it's.
Are you?
Yeah, there's China too.
There's a Chinese demon called TikTok.
It's going to be
pretty much. Yeah, it sounds like a Chinese demon.
What's that called? Yeah, what was that big one thing called? It was like TikTokzilla. No.
Did you know that TikTok started out as a completely innocuous, like really like it was just an app called Musical.ly. My daughter used to use it back in the day, and all it was just basically a karaoke app where you just lip sync to whatever songs you wanted to and made little videos out of them, and that was the whole thing. And then they rebranded to TikTok, and it became this huge deal. And,
of course, yeah, money pumped in. Why do you not for what reasons, Chris? Go ahead, let us know.
I don't know.
It's a good.
You have no idea the reasons on why somebody would pump a bunch of money into that to shorten the world's attention span. You can't think of why people might want to do that.
I just don't know. I just don't know why they chose that. I mean, like instead of
there was a market for it. They didn't create the demand. I think they were responding to an existing demand because the attention spans.
Ooh, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, that probably is true too.
I mean, both of those, because like that's an actual debate, bro.
Well,
does technology drive whatever?
Well, technology creates
does humanity drive technology? Because that's one of those things I've heard. Like, I spend a lot of time over on TML's channel or whatever, like trying to learn as much as possible, and like that's like literally one of the things that is like, it's one of those not understood things.
I think it's both. I think it's a feedback. I think technology responds to the needs of the humans, who then adapt to the new environment that the technology creates. And
of course. Well, they have to, right?
Dialectic. The what?
I would think that they would have to adapt. But
Well,
it's
the
like,
ones that don't get left behind. Like if you can't
think
adapt
so?
to the new technology, you get left behind.
And it also has to do with language, because every one of these new apps and the new kinds of communication, like something from Twitter, where it was like, really like the idea of Twitter originally was short form blogging, was super short form blogging. It was blogs that were only 140 characters, and then and it's changed since then, obviously.
I don't remember that.
That's how it started. And Facebook was a different kind of communication. TikTok is, and every time these new kind of apps that come out that require people to communicate in different ways, it kind of rewires their brain. I think language literally does rewire your brain.
You're right, because everything.
Well,
like,
I don't
right.
know. That's.
I think Chris might be
not a
right
neurobiologist.
to a point there. Well, I have a
say
friend
it
who is a
literally-
neurobiologist, and I think he might actually agree with Chris.
Who is?
My friend is he's a.
Well, tell him to come on and talk, because I don't think it literally rewires the brain. I think you're
Well,
still
see,
speaking figuratively when you say that.
It would. I think ultimately there's no moment.
I think the concept of brain wiring itself is figurative. I don't think that there's actually like the brain actually
Is
works.
your brain wiring the same that it was 1 second ago?
I don't know, because I think it's all.
Well, if it's not, that means that there was an
I don't think we're talking about actual wiring.
Oh,
well, yeah, I don't mean actual wiring. No.
Oh,
That's what I mean. When you said literally, you were still speaking figuratively. Was my point?
But that's okay. I understand now.
Literal.
That actually is really cool that you made that distinction.
I mean, I didn't mean actual wires in my brain.
You meant like communication, right?
Yeah, I'm saying like it recontextualizes and it gives makes your perspective different when you learn new forms of communication and new forms of thought or new forms of language, and those are all forms of language. And so, like, I think even people that learn to write code and like really learn to like code really well, and they are really expert coders, they think differently. They think differently than someone who doesn't know how to learn how to code. Like they think in a different order. They think in and that's the reason why my favorite
it's like every
movie,
profession though, really. But yeah, to point it out with technology,
it's my favorite movie of the last 10 years was Arrival, because that's what that's about. It's about like this alien race, but it's really not about the aliens at all. It's really about how this alien's language is not based in time. It's not a linear language. And whenever this scientist lady, she learns the language, it recontextualizes like her entire perspective on time, and she can suddenly kind of like see in the past and the present and the future kind of all simultaneously, because like because the language itself is not linear, and therefore I think it's
a science fiction movie. Is there a real world analog to that?
Oh, I thought you said you wrote that.
No, it's a real movie that
that sounds amazing, bro.
It's
science fiction movie.
It's science fiction movie, but check it out. I mean, seriously, it's in my opinion, it's the best movie, the last 10 years.
What?
I think it's
really. You think so?
Yes, I fully do. It's the same. It's the same director that made Dune and the new Blade Runner, and the both Dune movies and the Blade Runner and stuff like that. And
Isn't that the black guy?
No, it's he's a French guy named Denis Villeneuve.
No, Blade Runner. I thought he was black, or is that Blade? That's just Blade.
It's Blade.
Oh,
I don't know why it's funny.
And did you ever see that third Blade movie? Man, that movie was so bad.
I didn't even know there was a second. I saw the first one, but I didn't even know there was one.
They gave me one in the mail. They called it Mach 3.
The third one, the second one, the second Blade is actually a great little action movie. It was Guillermo del Toro made that one, but then they gave the third one to like the writer of the second one, and it's easily one of the most cringy, awful movies I've ever seen. The only halfway entertaining part is the fact that there's a vampire Pomeranian at one point.
I don't know what that means. Oh, is that a dog?
Yeah. Like a little fluffy dog that has that has like mandibles that open up and is like all evil and demonic and tries to attack them. Yeah, it's funny.
That's
So
the
it wasn't a
highlight.
Pomeranian or whatever you said.
It's a Pomeranian, yeah.
Yeah, but aren't those like little tiny little things?
Yeah, I know,
like,
which is why it's funny because it's like this evil demonic little
and they
Pomeranian.
the only thing they do bark, but the only things they do is bark, and then they like what's it called?
Well, that's kind of all dogs, though.
Like it makes like a snuffling sound or something, like that or something, all the time.
Oh man,
that's yeah. I got to Blade. We took that shit to Blade, bro. From
It wasn't that was Chris.
It was a little bit me though,
because our dog Frank.
It's all of this actually. Jeff, don't sit there all innocent. You didn't stop it.
The vampire dog?
No, Frank. Blade Trinity is not a good movie. It's
the vampire dog story because I didn't even know there was a second Blade.
The second one's good. It's just called Blade 2.
No, I wasn't gonna stop.
I so dislike those cheesy science movies, man. Like I don't know.
Like what do you mean?
Like I saw one. Give
me an example.
I didn't like Prometheus.
Oh, Prometheus was bad.
I didn't like that. I didn't like. It was just like I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't ready to understand it or something.
No, it's a bad movie. It's a bad movie. It's a movie where characters are running away from something that's coming and collapse on top of them. And instead of just running to the right or the left, where they would easily be out of danger, instead they run straight in a straight line away from it, where it's definitely going to crush them. Any movie that has something, a moment like that in it, I'm immediately out. Like I'm like, fuck that movie.
Chris, to be honest with you, it might have just been the $75 popcorn.
I managed movie theaters for I was a movie theater manager, but that's the job I've done more than any other job.
You want to hear a good story? My brother is real into movies, right? So we go. I don't even remember which one it was. Maybe like Robin Hood or something. But like one of the pirates.
Which one? Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Dude, the one where he shoots like 3 arrows at once or something.
Yeah, like the Kevin Costner one. And
that
Christian
one was
Slater.
Good. I thought that was a good one.
It's a great movie.
Real good, actually.
It's a great movie. It's got Alan Rickman talking about wanting to cut somebody's heart out with a spoon. It's one of the fucking most hilarious things I've ever seen.
Oh, dude, real quick. I'll tell you the first quick one, bro. Going to the movies. You ever go? Are there people that you like really have a hard time going to movies with at all? Like because of their behavior.
Really.
Dude, my father. Okay, listen to this. I remember this one. This one was like Star Wars something. And this was like one of the, this was like 5 years ago. We get in line, we get the ticket, we get up. You know, the 16-year-old girl or like whatever, like is there, and she's like, "Can I have your ticket?" He goes, "Come here, I got to tell you a secret." And she like kind of like gets a little closer, and he gets a little closer, like as if to like tell her a secret. He stays fucking silent for like 10 seconds and then goes, "I'm Luke Skywalker." And then I was like, dude, I will never go to the fucking movies with you ever again. I was like, you are the most uncomfortable person.
Why? That's amazing. I would go movie with your dad all the time. That would be hilarious. Yeah,
dude. And then and there was another one where me and my brother, he goes, "Oh, I got this like AMC card, and we're gonna save money." And I'm like, "Cool, whatever. We'll use your card, sure." You get up there, dude. You know how it is, bro. It's like for real. For two people, it's like $55 if you want like food and shit. So anyway,
I used to.
So he swipes the card. He swipes the card, and it's like 4% off or something. And then she tells us the price, and me and him just both start laughing. We just couldn't stop laughing at how high the price was, and even the employees even started laughing with us. Like, dude, it was insane.
Before COVID happened and lost
I'm not even
my
making
jobs.
This is my life shit, bro. These are my stories.
What's that?
You have just as good in-person stories.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, I used to have they used to have an AMC membership thing called like A Plus or something like that. I don't know what it was called, but like you got to see up to 3 movies a week for like, so you paid $20 a month, but you could go see up to like 3 movies a week, and you also got like small popcorns for like $1 and stuff like that. It really made going to the movies cheap. And we were going to see movies like all the time. Like we were trying to use the hell out of that thing. But we got to the point where like there weren't any movies coming out that we wanted to see, and then of course COVID hit and everything just kind of went to shit. So, but yeah, I always really liked. I managed movie theaters forever, man. I used to be a projectionist and manager and stuff like that. I spent all my time.
Be. Don't use that in the past tense. You project all the time.
Good one. Good one.
Those movies are
throwing that shade.
I'm not even sure. I mean, it's one of those that would be funnier if it was more accurate. I don't feel like I do project very often, but if I do, then I guess.
No, I think it was funny because it was inaccurate. That's why I said it. I'm serious.
Yeah, no, I get that. I've done that before too. Oh man. I tell you what, guys, I'm fine right now. I'm feeling good, but like I feel my body is slowly sinking into this like not wanting to move for a long period of time.
Maybe it's called finally getting some normal rest. Do you want to close it out and go get some sleep?
I can't actually, because we have to drive to Texarkana tonight to see
Chris.
Clover.
There's no way you should try to drive after being up all night.
Well, Lindsay's going to drive.
Oh, okay.
But we're driving to Texarkana because the last day of Clover's first really big show, her first like professional.
So you're doing
show.
that tonight? You're going to Texarkana tonight?
Yeah, Lindsay's going to drive up there, and we're going to go.
I didn't know that. Yeah, we should end the stream so you can go rest and get ready for that.
Yeah, where it's she's in SpongeBob the musical. She's not like a major role, but still, it's actually at the Repertory Theater, which is like a big deal.
Yeah,
in theater.
What's going on tonight?
Yeah, it's tomorrow. It's the last show is tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So you're going up there tonight.
We're going up there tonight and staying the night, and then we're gonna go to the show too.
Okay.
And go see my little baby and stuff, because I'm dying to see my little kid. Both of my little kids. I'm so proud of Clover, but I miss my little baby.
Frank, you're being ridiculous. It's really hard for me to fake appreciation for other people. If you don't know that by now, if I were better at it, I would be a lot more successful in life. So if I'm
yeah, I feel like Chris, man. I'm tired, man. I'm gonna get going, but thanks for letting me say a couple jokes.
Well, I'm tired because I finally fixed
I'm
my
in
car.
the stream. I don't want to stream with a bunch of tired asses. So bye. Let's end the stream. We'll try again tomorrow. And that's what I said. He need Moose. That's the
God, Moose.
That's the same
Moose,
thing.
yo, oh my God!
I'm not having a heart attack.
I came up
Moose.
with a nickname for Moose. I don't know if I can say it.
I'm actually overwhelmed with relief. I'm actually I'm overwhelmed with relief because I got the car working and the air conditioning working.
Well,
and
go
everything.
celebrate. Go relax, celebrate, chill out. Come watch a movie with us if you want, and get ready to go on your journey.
Yeah, man. And if Moose doesn't want me to say the nickname that I came up with for him, I would understand why.
What? Not actually clutching my chest. I had my arms crossed.
Oh gosh. Oh, what was it?
What did you come up with?
Say it.
Moose needs antlers. We need to get him some moose antlers.
It's not that bad, but it's.
Well, tell us or type it in the chat, in the private chat.
I think it was Loose Caboose Moose or something.
Oh, loose. He was loose goose the other day.
These could be
I
now.
told him the same thing. Sit the fuck up on the stream and quit slouching in your track pants. Like I'm trying to grow this stream and elevate it, not having to be the YouTube flop house for everybody.
Well, I normally do sit up on the edge of the bed but I'm very tired today, so just give me this for now, and we're ending the stream anyway. So.
Well, I am ending the stream, so we can all recover. He opens the merchants. Oh, like Outlier Antlers. I can whatever this company is, maybe I can cut a deal with them.
Oh, my old chair, it's still there. In order to get my car at a pawn, I had the computer that I'd been using that was sitting there. I had to sell it to get the money to get the car out of the tow yard. So.
You have to sell your chair?
I sold the computer that I used to stream on.
Down there. Okay.
Yeah, I sold that computer that's over there where that chair is. So.
Well, good thing you have a house full of stuff to sell.
It was just an old Mac, but it took care of the final, but I needed to get the money to get it out of Hawk. So
All right. Well, we'll be in the Discord soon, starting Ordinary People for our first mental health movie for Mental Health Month in May. And we'll see you there. Otherwise, we'll either be back tonight or definitely tomorrow at the usual time. So join us there or join us tomorrow. Oh, Chris, do you want to chat afterwards?
We can chat tomorrow. We can chat tomorrow. I'm really tired today.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not mentally clear enough. My brain is half fried. So
all right. Well, let's go. Yeah, let's go get some rest. We'll chat another.
I'll talk to you tomorrow though.
Take care, everyone.
See you later.
Yeah, Frank, if you could get him a link. If not, Carl, you can email me at this address at Gmail. And I can get your link. All right. Take care, everyone. Mental health happening in Discord. Narcissism and mental health. All kind of therapy stuff. Movie. Bye.